To give some background info, the RSM Titanic was a luxury steamship. It sank in the early hours of April 15, 1912. 1,500 out of 2,240 lost their lives that day. The Titanic has inspired many books, articles, and films. The Titanic was a product of much competition in the first half of the 20th century. It broke many barriers with its amazing design. Although it had many flaws, it has taught us to look past it and correct our mistakes. Many boats today are much safer because of the Titanic. Now to how the Titanic has broke many barriers.
Let's just say on the night of the Titanic sinking, the water was not the most ideal for a swim.
For the people who unfortunately either jumped or fell off this massive ship, most sadly died to the 28-degree North Atlantic waters.
For those who jumped, it could take up to 30 minutes to perish.
2/3 of men and women on the ships, in fact, perished that night.
And this happened due to the way
the Titanic was built also broke barriers of its time,
allowing us how we should change the way we make boats and ships today. Over 100 years ago, 105,000 people died on the Titanic. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Avery.
And this is how the sinking of the Titanic changed the safety and travel on sea.
There are three main ways the Titanic has affected. Today we'll be discussing those three topics. It affected the design of many modern-day boats. The old design that was on the Titanic was very great at its time, yet many design flaws made it worse for the wreck. We have now persevered and looked past that and used our mistakes to fix it. The wreck was discovered about 35 years ago. It also led to the creation of Ice Patrol. And finally, the way lifeboat policies have changed.
The Titanic was built to sustain a mammoth ice mass, but could barely stand an ordinary block of ice.
Here is an image of what is believed to be the iceberg that sunk the Titanic. Now, no one really knows the exact height of the Titanic, but it is estimated to be about 50 feet to 100 feet high.
Even though the submerging of the boat may have caused much sorrow, that didn't stop modern-day people from fixing the original boat's mistakes. The Titanic broke barriers in many ways, starting off with the new ways the boats are constructed to ensure their durability. Please welcome our guest, John Houck, who works for Intrepid Powerboats as the Station 1 fleet manager.
Are there any requirements that have been added for the safety of the passengers since the ship's crashing?
There have been more safety precisions with lifeboats and rafts, and even have open safety classes you may take. Also, captains must have much more safety qualifications and classes in order to man a ship of the Titanic size. Did you know the Titanic could carry 64 lifeboats?
But they only put 48 lifeboats on the deck so that it would look less cluttered.
This leads to the safety requirements that are now in place. Titanic was short 20 lifeboats, and most lifeboats were only filled to half of their capacity.
Looking at the materials that were used to construct the cruise ship, what would you have done differently?
Well, looking at the items they have used, the rivets used, the steel were weak, and they did everything they could just to get it done and over with when really they should have taken more time to make it correct, because one little design flaw could have caused the whole ship to come crashing down.
Here you can see a full breakdown of the Titanic. As you can see, it broke many barriers with an amazing design and something that no one had seen before, which made it stand out a lot.
Would you say that it was ever really right to name this boat the Unsinkable Ship?
No, because it was built too quickly, with materials not up to standard, as well as the fact that safety checks were highly overlooked. As said earlier, the boat was made of very thin material, not fit for such a large boat. Thank you, John Howe, for providing us the information to better understand how this boat has changed the many ways we view sea travel. When was the Ice Patrol established?
A. 1987, B. 1914, C. 2020, or D. 1957?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done.
The answer is 1914.
The Ice Patrol was established shortly after the Titanic sinking, when it came to their attention that that was what they needed at the moment, due to the recent accidents that had occurred in the early 1900s.
Now leading into our next topic, let's discuss what we've done about the problems of the iceberg crashes.
That is the very reason the Titanic crashed.
Yes, it is, but luckily now we have ways to prevent the same thing from happening now.
Large icebergs may have caused a boat of that size to sink like it did, but here that is not the case.
The iceberg the Titanic ran into wasn't even that big. It was pretty average in size.
This proves the idea that the steel of the boat must not have been very strong if it could only withstand a normal-sized iceberg.
Anyways, back to the safety of icebergs. After the crash, an ice patrol was established.
The Ice Patrol is operated by the United States Coast Guard and patrols the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans.
The establishment has greatly reduced the amount of collisions,
Their purpose is to reduce icebergs from February 1st through July 31st.
in which case patrols the Grand Banks of Newfoundland. The 1992 season is the longest record, going from March to September.
Besides World War I and II, the patrol has tasked each year.
Later, Canada joined the ice patrol, making sea travel even safer.
I figure life's a gift, and I don't intend on wasting it.
And every safety precaution is helpful to ensure boating can be safe.
Making every moment count, in the journey of the Titanic from the time it sank to now. Tragic accident that caught the whole world's eye. Yet it has opened our eyes to new discoveries that possibly impacted our world. Boating and cruising is a crucial part of many people's lives and will continue to be for many years to come.
The Titanic has impacted its time, and modern time too.
Which means the Titanic has broken many barriers.
The Titanic will be forever remembered for creating a new era of travel, the largest man-made object to move, measuring 269 meters in length, and largest passenger vehicle on sea. In memory of those who perished on the Titanic Memorial is located in New York. It stands at 60 feet tall, or 18 meters. It is a lighthouse located at Fulton and Pearl Streets. It was built April 15, 1912. It's been moved several times and has been funded. If you're ever in Manhattan, New York, go check out the Memorial Lighthouse to remember those who are perished. There are also quite a few other memorials, including Pier 59, Pier 54, the Jane Hotel, Shrine of St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, Titanic Memorial Park, and many more.